Nice
Been
fish.
waiting on that bite.
Nice fish. You hit him in the right place.
In the middle of telling you a story about how many bass eat baby ducks. Look at that, pretty fish, isn't
Nice
it?
fish. Yeah, it is a nice fish.
Pretty fish.
I know they couldn't stay in that lure.
It's just a matter of putting it in the right place. Let me see if we can do
Pretty
this
fish.
without me and you ended up in the pond this morning. You can hold that for me?
Got it.
All them treble hooks everywhere. Let's just do it this way. Come here, Big Daddy.
Grady White Boats' reputation for designing ruggedly elegant fishing boats is legendary. Our attention to quality, detail, and customer service is unmatched. From our Fisherman 180 and Coastal Explorers series to the unrivaled Canyon 456, you'll find no boat that rides better and offers more fishing amenities. Go ahead, experience fishing at its best. Get the Grady.
Hello, and welcome to the Carolina Outdoor Journal. Well, today's program is going to take us out for some pond fishing, and we're going to have a big time today.
We really are. We're going to be using top water baits and targeting some good-sized bass. We actually were hoping for a big bass, somewhere in the 8 to 10 pound range. We never found one that day, but we caught some really pretty fish, 4 to 5 pound range, and on top water baits.
Well, not catching the big one makes us go back to the next
That's
time.
right. Well, we know this pond is really stocked nicely.
What about the gear time? Now, we had a lot of changes in bait that day.
We'll go back and the guys will share with us what they used, from top water plugs to floating worms. Tried a variety, just kind of mixed it up, but we made for a successful day.
Then we head on down to the kitchen with Donna. Venison and biscuits today.
I tell you, it's for that early morning when it's cool outside and you're getting ready to go up in the tree stand, you need to look at this one. This is a real tasty recipe from her today.
We got a good show lined up. Let's get right to it on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Get him in there.
God, I've been waiting on that bite, Ted.
That's a
I've
nice
been
fish.
waiting on that bite.
Nice fish. You hit him in the right place.
In the middle of telling you a story about how many bass eat baby ducks. Look at that, pretty fish,
Nice
isn't it?
fish. Yeah, it is a nice fish.
Pretty fish.
I know they couldn't stay in that lure.
It's just a matter of putting it in the right place. Let me see if we can do
Pretty
this
fish.
without me and you ended up in the pond this morning. You can hold that for me?
Got it.
All them treble hooks everywhere. Let's just do it this way. Come here, Big Daddy.
That's a nice fish, Brian.
Yeah, I was scared of him. I just came off the Roanoke River. Been fishing single hooks with no barbs for a month, and come down here with all these treble hooks and didn't know how to act. But I tell you what now, if you tell me we're gonna catch fish like that the rest of the morning,
We're gonna catch
God, look at how gold they are.
We're gonna catch something nicer than that.
Really? Fish acts like they're all, they're spawned out, but old bucket mouth. Pretty work.
What's he weigh?
That fish is, 2.5 pounds. I got the scales if you want me to really weigh him for you. See you, Big Daddy. Woo! I really enjoyed that, buddy.
That was nice.
Really enjoyed that.
Let's do some more of those.
I cannot believe how pretty the shoreline is, Ted.
It's rather bassy looking, isn't it?
Golly, to be a pond, I mean, there's some rivers and lakes and stuff in eastern North Carolina that look a lot like this. But for a pond, this is amazing. This is really amazing.
Yeah, it's really pretty. These cypresses just came up a few years ago.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
So this is all new?
These cypresses are all new. It was the water level came up.
You know what it reminds me of? I fish a lot on Lake Phelps. And other than the water clarity, because this is a dark, kind of a swamp green pond, other than water clarity or color, this shoreline looks like one of the sections on Lake Phelps that has a lot of young cypresses, and with some scattered grass and all. Man, this is just structure everywhere. Expect to fish on every cast. Oh my God,
that's a log! That's
Oh
a
my
nice one,
Lord,
Brian.
look at that fish.
Woo! That is a nice fish.
We only have one problem.
What's that?
I'm still hung up on that stump inside
I'm gonna
there.
keep you-
I don't want this one to
Whoa.
jump. He's across this rod.
Which way is it?
This
Can
way.
you hand it to me?
No, just leave that one alone.
Hand me the rod with the fish on it.
Heck, you crazy? Heck no. Look at
That's a
that.
nice fish.
I knew.
That is a nice
I knew.
fish.
If I kept throwing. Here, you take this rod. Golly, man. I knew if I kept throwing that worm up along that bank. Look how pretty that fish is.
That's a nice fish.
They had to eat it. I might weigh him, Ted. I didn't weigh the last one.
Why
but
don't you?
I might weigh him. Don't lean or we'll both be swimming.
And what's your guess on that fish?
10 and a half.
What's your guess now?
Put you right there. Put you over there. I don't know. What do you think? Look at the
I'm gonna
head.
say 4.5.
Look at the head on that fish. You just know how much more that fish had to weigh. I'm gonna say that's probably a female that spawned out, you know. We'll weigh her just to find out.
What's your guess?
I'm gonna go along with you. I think you're real close. Boga Grip says about 4 1/4. So that's pretty good.
It's nice.
Man,
fish.
working in the seafood business as long as you did, you ought to know how much fish weighs. Ted, it's been a fairly decent spring weather-wise, hasn't it?
It has been a nice spring, but it was fairly dry. We've gotten just enough rain to get the crops up.
I tell you, the past couple weeks though, we've had some what they call frog stranglers, thunderstorms. I mean, I've seen some of the best lightning displays this spring that I've seen in years.
Yeah, me too.
But one thing it has been, it's been hot. You know, we had that Bermuda high. I think we've had 2 Bermuda highs this year that have lasted weeks on end. So things been real stable and real hot. And that might have, you know, this is May fishing, so that might have hurt us a little bit for this time of year.
Could have. We've managed to catch a few fish though.
Oh yeah.
He's on it.
Look, you got your hands full now, boss.
Ooh, he's healthy anyway.
I got rods going every different direction.
He finally couldn't stand it. Where you got those pliers right there?
Pliers, boss.
He wasn't coming off.
That was funny because he just did miss it. Next cast, he popped it again. Now you made probably what, 7, 8 casts through there?
Yeah, a bunch of casts in there. He finally couldn't stand it though. He got the better of him. 8 pound and a half.
See you, little buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. That's pretty.
Woo! He couldn't stand it, could he?
I gave up on that fish. The brim ate my bug. I totally gave up on him. And he ate the jitterbug, boss.
Get around there right and catch him.
Keep them hooks in him now. And keep me in the boat. Tail walker. Old tail walking fish. Hey, that was pretty, man. He was hanging out right where he exploded a while ago.
What do you think of that, Brian?
Woo! I think that should have been my fish, but a little bluegill grabbed my popping bug when I come by that stump. And you made a cast in there and he sailed on that jitterbug.
Now, I believe that was bigger than yours.
Oh, come on now.
Put the scales on him.
You want me to?
Put the scales
You
on
don't want
him.
me to hurt your feelings, do you? That's a good fish. We'll see what he is.
I don't think he's big as yours, though.
I know he's not, especially since I'm holding the scale. That fish is 3
5.5
and a quarter pounds.
Is it?
Not quite 3.5.
Pretty fish.
Look at the head on that fish, though. These are healthy, beautiful fish,
They
man.
are.
You got a good fishery right here.
They're in great shape.
Golly, what a bite.
You're going to have to try to lift your rod around him.
Yeah, there's more stuff in there, Ted. He's still on there. He's still on there.
You
Look
gotta
at
go
him.
around
See
it.
his
Yep.
tail? He's wrapped around that. Get me in there, I'll break that log off. I still see him thumping. Oh my gosh.
Let me try to break the log
Yeah,
off.
break that stick off if you can, the second one. Or just pull up the whole root. He wrapped around it about.
There you go, take him back
There we go.
outside.
There we go. Now he's on
Got
another
that
root.
stick. Got him?
He's wrapped around this thing about 5 times. He's not that big a fish, but you'd have thought, man, that he was a nice one. The way that rascal, I mean, he ate it, you know, like a big saltwater fish would do coming across a bait spread. He ate it going
nailed
away.
that thing. Let me see if I can get us out of this branch.
I don't care where you take me
There's
now. I
your
got me a fish.
There's your bait.
He's is my bait? Is it in the boat with me?
Yes,
You
I
get
got
it?
it on the seat. Watch your rod tip and get you out of it.
Rod tips everywhere. All
You
kinds
see
of stuff
fish.
going on.
Nice little bass. Look how thick these fish are.
They're thick, big-headed. Uh-oh. There we go. Put him back, Mr. Ted. Come on back. I mean, he had it and spit it. It's amazing a fish can do that before you can react.
There he is.
Got him. Pretty, pretty, pretty. He's around something too. No, he came out. Oh, that's just right, boss man.
He had that thing like right now.
Just right. Let me see what we got here. Look how far you little shiny shad jumped up the line there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's not a bad fish either. For this time of day, I'll take him. Come here, buddy. Look at there.
Pretty little bass.
He is
He's
hooked.
like, look how much deeper green that one is than the other ones.
Yep.
Thank you.
Little pound, pound and a half fish, big-headed, thick back. See you, little guy.
Tell you what.
But if
back
you
out
hold
there.
me right here,
Okay.
I'm gonna catch that fish. That fish is at least 8 pounds.
All right, Brian. There you go.
That's another one. Twist you right down the edge of that log.
They like
know,
that bait.
We've gone to the plastic baits.
Pretty fish.
Come here, buddy. Yeah, man. Get in that lip. Look at there. That's a trip now. They've kind of gone off the top water baits like we were throwing, and we've gone to these 4-inch twitch baits, twitching them down those logs and right along the shoreline in the shade. You know, they're right. You can still see them. They're right on the surface.
They can't stand them though. They got them going on.
They're
them.
going on those things pretty hard. I like fishing like that. I really do. I like how much gold these fish have in them. It's kind of a neat color, isn't it?
It is. And we had one a while ago. It was right orange looking.
Yeah. I'd heard that that there's some 10 and 12 pound fish in this pond, so I'm gonna put him back and let you put me on one of those.
All right.
Look, he's pulling the boat, Ted.
Good gracious. He's right nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, for what we've caught here in the last hour or so, he's
Nicer anyway.
gonna be a better class of fish, man.
Oh, there it goes.
They're just
Hate that.
they're barely grabbing those things.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that, you know, they're just not getting a good
That
hook
was
set.
he was probably 6 pounds or 3 pounds.
I need to reevaluate some of the ones I've been catching, man.
He's probably, I'll tell you what, he's been close to 3. Woo!
Son, he had me wrapped.
Nice fish.
Don't jump off, baby. Now, I've jumped off a
Land
couple
that
of days,
fish. He's a
Ted.
nice fish.
I've jumped off a couple
Pretty.
of days, so I'm going to try to hold on to him.
He's 3 pounds, I expect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful fish.
beautiful.
Hot dog.
So he was
buddy.
laying right up on that shore, right up
I
on
told you I could see that log. I cast right to that log. Look at the head on that fish.
He's pretty.
Oh, good gosh. Look at that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, you ought to feel that line right there. That little P line held on for me. That that log. I could see it right. You heard me say it. I was going, and it was right off the end of that little cypress tree.
Joe, anytime you can get around a pond and fish, you're always going to have fun, whether you catch a lot of fish or not.
Well, that's right. And you could tell that pond was a really nice setting. And of course, Brian's been with us a number of times, and this was a little something different. He likes all types of fishing, and he really likes freshwater fishing. He doesn't get a chance to do it as much as he'd like because of his busy schedule guiding. But just a lot of fun, a real relaxing type of fishing.
Well, we've got some more information we'd like to share with you. Let's go to gear time.
Brian, what do you think? We had some mighty fine fishing on top water baits this morning in the pond, and I started off with the jitterbug, and you started off with the
It's a spitting image. It's kind of a walk the dog type bait with some rattles in it.
good looking bait, and we had some exciting action.
The best bite I saw, though, I believe, was on that jitterbug on this bank right here. You know, when we came up here, Ted, I mean, it's late May, and but man, it's been hot, like we talked about a little bit earlier. But we decided we were going to top water fish. I mean, that's what we wanted to do, and I've been looking forward to this for a while. And we did, and we stayed with the top water baits up and down the bank, you know, pretty much all the way around this pond, and got some real lethargic kind of bites. We got some real good bites early, and so that's when we switched over to some of the soft plastics. And I still say the jitterbug got the best bites, but I believe the floating worm got the big fish for today so far.
Yeah, it did.
But you know, it's some stuff that you've probably seen before. Just floating worms. I keep a box with me with a number of different colors for fishing. You know, some of this the brackish and dark water stuff in Eastern Carolina, and then and these little twitch baits, man, they were pretty hot there at the end. We caught some smaller fish on them, but when we quit getting bites altogether on the top water baits, the fish would eat these things, just twitching them off the bank. And you still saw every bite. It was still like top water fishing, and I had a ball. And I know you were fishing a spinning rod with your top water bait all morning.
Yeah, I was.
I threw a bait caster. It's a smaller size bait. You don't need much of a rod in here. It's not like you're catching 50-pound drum, and a light spinning rod. You know, kind of a medium-sized reel for these soft plastics, 8 and 10-pound tests.
Right.
But these cypress trees will give you a fit, you know, if you're not careful.
We hung up a few times. I did too.
I had a ball.
There's nothing like catching bass on top water plugs to me.
Yeah, and I know there's some bigger fish in here.
Yeah, we didn't get any of the great big ones today, but we're going to.
That'll work. Well, let's get back at it.
All right.
Joe, that was some good information. It lets you know you got to be ready to change your baits.
You really do, and of course the top water plugs a lot of times will generate some of the most vicious attacks from these fish, and because the fish are hitting it to knock it down and to eat it. And of course the plastic worms do their thing too, but the devil's horse, the jitterbug, all of those have been around for years and continue to catch fish, and fishing a pond like that has got big fish too. I think, and I talked to both the guys afterwards about it, you tend to fish a little harder when you know there's a good chance of catching a bass as big as you've ever caught, and this pond certainly has those fish.
And we left them there too that day.
They're still there.
Let's catch up with Donna. She's in the kitchen. She's got a recipe for us today involving venison.
Hi, today we're going to be making a breakfast strata in the kitchen, and this is a great recipe. You can make it ahead of time and then serve it in the next day. So you can make it up that evening, put it in the fridge because it needs to chill for about 8 hours anyway, and then bring it out in the morning and bake it, and it's a great dish I think all your friends and your family will enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be using some biscuits that maybe a day-old biscuits that you might have. So what we're going to do with those, we're going to cut those into fourths. And we're going to layer our baking dish with that. And you want to make sure that it's an even, they're pretty evenly distributed and layered, so none on top of each other. And we're going to use about 8 biscuits for this. So let's go ahead and finish up that. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using about 1 pound of venison sausage that has been cut and crumbled, or cooked and crumbled, excuse me, and drained. So let's go ahead and you use about 8 or 6 biscuits, whatever you have. And then we're going to layer those biscuits with half of our venison sausage. And then we're going to place about half of our cheddar cheese on top of that's shredded. And you can add more cheese if you'd like. Then we're going to use some Monterey pepper jack cheese, which I like because it adds a lot of flavor and I don't have to think about some other ingredients to go with it. So then for our topping, we're going to take 8 eggs and we're going to mix those together. Then we're going to add about 1.5 cups of sour cream to this. You can also use plain yogurt if you'd like, or if you have it. Then we're going to add about 4-ounce can of green chopped chilies. The great thing about this recipe, it uses a lot of convenience items, but people are going to think it's, a really gourmet dish. I think everybody's going to like that. So we're going to mix all that together, and it makes this nice, thick, creamy mixture. And once this is mixed together well, we're going to pour it over our biscuits and venison and cheese mixture here. So we're going to pour that over and coat that really well. Then we're going to top this with the remaining cheese and venison. Just make sure that's coated really well. And all of this mixture is going to soak up into the biscuits, which is going to be really great. And then we're going to sprinkle the rest of our venison over the top and then top it with our cheese. We're going to cover this and place it in our refrigerator for about 8 hours or overnight. And then we're going to bring it out and bake it at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes until it's nice and firm. And then you can serve this with some fresh fruit if you'd like. It's a great brunch dish or a breakfast dish. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. As you can see, it's nice and golden brown and the cheese has melted and it looks nice and crunchy around the edges. I really think that you're going to enjoy it and it will make your house smell really great as well. So I hope you enjoyed the breakfast strata and that simple cooking here on Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Thanks a lot, Donna, for that recipe. That ought to get you going on one of those cold winter mornings. Joe, let's go back to the ponds. A lot of ponds in North Carolina.
I tell you, they really are, and that's a source for fishing opportunity. Just in Wake County alone, there's, I think, over 5,000 farm ponds just in Wake County alone. So, and that's the way it is across North Carolina. So it's an opportunity. Of course, if you want to go fish a pond, you want to ask the landowner before you go in. And not all ponds will be stocked, like this pond was. But this pond's been managed for a number of years, and for big bass, and it makes it worthwhile to do that, especially if you're a landowner and want some quality fishing. Look to doing that, and you can have a quality fishery.
It's easy fishing too.
Yeah, laid back and just working working around the edge of the pond. And again, we chose topwater baits that day, but you can worm fish, you can live bait fish. Topwater fishing tends to bring out the best in largemouth bass fishing, and just those strikes on the surface are worth the trip.
Just another great day outdoors in North Carolina.
You got it.
For Joe Albee, I'm John Moore. Thanks for joining us on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Make sure to visit our website for more information.
Grady White boats are known for uncompromising quality through exceptional attention to detail. On every model, from 18 to 45 feet, we incorporate exclusive features and quality components that you won't find on any other boat brands. Our exclusive CV2 hull design is ranked highest in every third-party survey done in the marine industry. So every day on the water will be a great day, no matter the conditions. Ask any Grady White owner and they'll tell you, get the Grady.